Well, the Overton Park Shell has been around for nearly a century. And in that time, it's hosted some huge names on that stage. Elvis Presley, ZZ Top, Isaac Hayes, just to name a few. The venue is one of a few remaining Depression-era bandshells. And next year, it celebrates its 90th anniversary. And joining me is Overton Park Shell Executive Director Natalie Wilson. Welcome. Glad to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
First, the Shell first opened back in 1936, I think it was. Yeah.
Exactly.
How do you all plan to celebrate that?
Well, when you think about where this country has gone in 90 years,
right.
The city of Memphis,
right.
To know that their space has sat right in its urban core for 90 years, still beautifully shining bright and growing, is an incredible, to me, a tenacity of Memphis, Tennessee, and how we really support our cultural assets.
Definitely, definitely.
And so for us at the Overton Park Shell, it's to reflect back on 90 years, what we've done, where we've come from, what we've learned from our mistakes,
right.
And where we've evolved to serve Memphis and be what Memphis needs us to be. We're going to celebrate it big and bold in 2026 with a year-long celebration of our history, talking about what 90 years has looked like to us, but also celebrating some of the best of the best. The bands of Memphis that have played our stage from a local, regional, and national perspective. We're going to celebrate a historic series of music, celebrating our history. And then the official birthday is September 13th, 2026.
Okay.
And that was also an interesting date when it opened in the Great Depression. Mayor Overton said, "I pledge this stage to the future of Memphis music." And just as relevant today, and on September 13th, 2026, we'll do the same thing. Is dedicated to the future of Memphis music with a weekend-long celebration, and it's going to be incredible. But also look at where this city, where we're going, address needs as they come, be open to going wherever people are in the city that we can serve, and inspire positivity wherever we go.
Wonderful. 90 years is a long time, so I'm sure, can you share a little bit of some of the stories about the history of it and some of the changes that it's gone through in all that time?
I like to talk about how it rose.
Okay.
It was called the Memphis Open Air Theater in 1936. That's where it started as a name.
Okay.
It housed a theater. Rodgers and Hammerstein productions came in.
Wow.
It was operetta. It was chamber music. It was theater. It had benches on the lawn, and it evolved through the era of the Memphis Symphony Orchestra with us and big bands in the 60s and 70s. It also, we learned a lot during the Civil Rights Movement, that the stage brought everyone together. All walks of life came together through the country blues festivals of the end of the 60s. And then the 1970s were an amazing explosion of the bands, the big rock bands like the Allman Brothers and Black Sabbath, who played the stage.
Black Sabbath played the
stage?
Wow.
Ozzy Osbourne. There is a story. We have a backstage museum to learn that story if you're interested in that. But, you know, then it had heady times when it was abandoned, when it was almost bulldozed to be a parking lot. Right. To the things that could have happened to it where it sat there, just no one had a plan for it. Thankfully, we became a nonprofit in 2008, opened its doors as the Levitt Shell, and thanks to that partnership for 15 years, that we as Memphians said, continuing to invest in it, invest in its name, and we came back to our official and rooted name of Overton Park Shell in 2022. That it just speaks to eras of history, eras of change, eras of hard times, eras of mistakes that we made, as well as saying today we're at 2025 into 2026. We continue to learn from our city and grow, and we want to be about everything to do with how music builds community. Right.
And you all are actually about more than just music. You have community events coming up too. Tell us about some of those.
Well, we're not. I tell everybody, and our team knows this, we are a people-powered nonprofit. We are a public gathering space first, not a music venue. So as a public gathering space, we open our doors to whatever the needs are. From right now with the government shutdown and people without food, we open our doors to Shell Pantry Days. We had one yesterday with neighborhood Christian centers where we're collecting foods for 4 Thursdays. Whatever it takes to be open to the public at large to know they have a place at the Shell.
Right.
So we have 5 programs from big music, national, local musicians that play our stage. By the way, 50% is local music we play. We have a health and wellness program like goat yoga tomorrow. We will have fun on the lawn. It'll be perfect weather.
Right.
To our backstage museum where we tell the story of our history.
And it's a fascinating tour,
Oh,
too.
it is. And it's a 90-year story. And then one of my favorite programs, Shell on Wheels, with our mobile Shell that travels in every zip code, that inspires our community, inspires positivity through music.
All right.
So,
And you mentioned the food drives. I think we've got something on our, if you're interested in more information about the food drive, because unfortunately we're out of time. There it is, November 20th is the next one, December 4th, December 11th, noon to 6 each day.
Yes.
So be sure and help them out, too, with those, to help people who are in need this holiday season. Unfortunately, we're out of time. But thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And here's to another 90 years, because the Shell definitely makes this a better Memphis.
Yes.
Definitely. And thanks so much for coming in, Ned.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.